You are watching Limited Resources Draft Series on MTGO Academy featuring Marshall Sutcliffe.
Hey guys, Marshall here from Limited Resources, doing another draft with you on MTGOacademy.com. It's the Cube. I decided to run back the Cube. I just got home from France and Worlds Week. Incredible week, but now somehow I'm find myself drafting with you at like 8 in the morning or whatever. Not when I normally draft, to say the least. What do I like here? Well, Vendilion Click is what I like here. It's the only blue card in the pack. Was it like, wow, it's the actual only blue card in the pack. And it's also, I just think, one of the best cards in the cube. So, huge fan. Going to take it. Definitely not going to pass a Cryptic Command here either. I mean, I don't want to fall into the trap of being just the guy that drafts blue here, but those are two excellent cards to start me off. So, I'm in. All right. Moloku, even Shadow Mage Infiltrator could be a pick here. I think I just take Moloku because why not just keep cutting blue? We'll see what we get back for our second color if we need one. All right, here, I mean, I could take Dismiss, but I kind of already have the better Dismiss. I think I just went Baleful Strix and just try to go to Value Town here. Another option would be like Garrick. Even Inferno Titan, but I don't know if red-blue's where I want to be. I'm going to take Strix. Okay, not much going on here. Divining Top, which is just okay, or a Merfolk Looter, which is also just okay in the cube. Yeah, I guess Top's probably the most powerful card here that we can play, so I'll take it. All right, this one's a little better. There's a Watery Grave and a Sakashima's Student. I really like Toxic Deluge for the control deck as well, which we could be. I mean, right now we're kind of straddling in between control and, I don't know, maybe something else. This is actually a really tough choice because really like Toxic Deluge, but we could also just take the blue card with Student and just sort of stay open. We're not necessarily in black yet. But if we take the Deluge, we'll really want the Watery Grave too, which is kind of awkward. Oh, fine. I'll just take the Deluge. I've been super impressed by it. If we end up playing something else, I'll have to just live with that. Psychotog? Okay. I love Oracle of Moldiah as well, but now that we've taken a black card into another black card, I think we can settle in here. It looks like we're going to be a little bit more on the value end of things rather than like the deck that I like to play, that Tempo deck. Wow, more good choices. Temple, Think Twice, Deceiver. It's between Think Twice and Temple. Temple is sort of the responsible pick, but Think Twice is just one of my favorite cards. I love that card. Yeah, probably just got to take the Temple here, though. It's a little too good to be true, and we'll find other ways to draw cards. We've already got, some cards that kind of replace themselves. So, yeah, it's okay. Okay, well, this is that opener, and really there's nothing here. Just, yeah, nothing. I'll take Call of Herd, sure. Okay. Big Bouncer. Love that guy. Interesting one. Marshall Ku's still here, but I guess we need to just sort of settle into blue-black control and take the Consuming Vapors here. We're going to need a few counter spells as we don't have much in that way right now. I think, yeah, just the Cryptic Command. So those are a key ingredient, but this looks like a solid mid-range blue-black deck so far. I'm just going to take this Inferno Titan. I don't really know why it's still in the pack. I guess nobody's playing red at all because that card's just fantastic. Maybe we end up being a little bit of Grixis if things come together, but if not, I'll be happy to not have to play against it. All right, what do we got? Well, there's Ashiok. That's interesting. Diabolic Servitude, Zombie. This pack's actually kind of crappy. I think I'm just going to take Ashiok. I haven't actually had a chance to play Ashiok in the cube yet. And, yeah, right on color. All right, bingo. Consecrated Sphinx. We now have a finisher. So let's get that in there. And Sword of Temptation, yeah, love it. Fits right in with what we're trying to do, this sort of mid-rangey type thing. Riptide Lab could come back, which it always just seems too slow to actually do anything, but it can. It actually can. It just takes forever. All right. Well, I mentioned that we're going to need some counter spells to make this deck work, and here's one now. It's not a good one. Dissolve's just okay. Would much prefer our counters in the two mana range, but we've already got a Soar, which is better than Geist generally, and the only other card that catches my eye is Thragtusk on the splash, which does really catch my eye. I mean, that is the type of card that you can really help use to gain back some life that you've lost in the early stages of the game, but I think we need the counterspell enough to just play it. Just take the Dissolve. Impulse or Legacy's Allure. I guess Legacy's Allure is good enough against some decks that will probably want it here. Impulse kind of spins its wheels. It's okay, but it's better when you're digging for certain things. You know, maybe if you've got a combo like the Kiki Jiki, Splinter Twin, or something with the two guys, and you just need the other piece. Ooh, here's some stuff. Forbid and Phantasmal Image. Phantasmal Image can really do a lot of work in the early or late stage, depending on what your opponent's up to, but I think we might just need Forbid. Like, once you've got Consecrated Sphinx, Forbid just goes up so much. Because if you get them in the Consecrated Sphinx Forbid lock, it's a soft lock, basically. Like, it just says you have to draw 2 relevant spells that I don't already have an answer for, because it's just, you just get too far ahead. So I'm going to take the Forbid. Now, my main concern looking at the deck is here. We're just not really doing much in the early stages of the game, and I'm very concerned about that, because this format can be very quick, and we can get ran over, and I would really prefer for that not to happen. So what we're looking to do is pick up things that affect the board or that we can be reactive with early. Doomblade effects would be great. Counterspell, like actual counterspell, or even like a Remand, Mana Leak, that kind of stuff is stuff it's high on our list now. Forbidden Alchemy or target player, Compulsive Research draws, and then that's a land one, yeah. I think I actually want Alchemy here. We've got 2 3-mana counters, meaning that on turn 3 we can ship the turn back. If they do something that we want to counter, we counter. If they don't, we Alchemy. With Compulsive Research, it's a sorcery, so you just have to run it out there. It's better. I mean, you get more cards, but I'm going to take this one. All right, there's a Force Spike. I think we're going to pick that up here. Green is open. Jeez. Prime Titan. But I think we've already kind of made our bed here, so Force Spike it is. All right, well, here's a Diabolic Servitude. This isn't really the deck for it, to be honest, but there's just nothing else, so I'm going to take it, and maybe it becomes a thing. I mean, we technically can go off, like we can play Psychotog, discard Sphinx, get it back with Servitude. Like, it's not impossible. It's just, it doesn't feel like we're really abusing it here. I'd much prefer it just to be like an Animate Dead or whatever. Okay, not much here either. Sure, we'll just take the big finisher away from somebody. There's that Riptide Lab. Though at this point, I wonder if we just want to cack something else. I mean, you a wizard? Yeah, all right, fine. I don't think we're going to play it, but I'll take the lab. Intuition, not a huge fan of Intuition. I might end up running it if we get the right card combos in our deck, but I'm just going to set it aside for now. Okay. Well, I like where this deck's going. Like I said, my concerns are still the same. I want early stuff. We picked up a Force Spike, which will help a little bit, but not a lot. You know, I'd much rather have a Mana Leak or something like that. But, and again, I think we want some Doomblade type effects in this thing, and then I think we'll have a deck. It's nice. I don't have to worry about that. All right. What have we? Yuck. Gosh, just not much here. I think the pick is Phyrexian Arena. Like, there's a Far and Away, which is in our colors, but we'll probably just get it back. And even if we don't, it's like, well, whatever. I'm not super high on that card. Looter Ilkor could be a thing, but it's so bad in the late game when you just need to affect the board and you draw it. Like, turn 2, you're happy you have it. But beyond that, it's like, it gets worse and worse. Condescend, I could see taking. But I think I just want a steady stream of cards here. I feel like Phyrexian Arena is a pretty nice pickup, actually. All right, well, there's Factor Fiction, which could be really good, but I asked for Doomblade, and I got Doomblade, and when the magic gods give you what you ask for, don't turn them down. Ugh, these packs. Underground Sea is what we're taking. Yeah, not much here. We're not really in the market for a Grelf's Messenger or even an Entomb, though I guess Diabolic Servitude Entomb is starting to get a little better, but we want more than that. All right, Muldrifter. Yay! Welcome. Welcome, good sir. It's nice to see you again. And here's an ultimate price again for the early stages, and yeah, it seems to be the play here. Gifts ungiven, not that important. Nightveil Spectre, Bident, Soul of Innistrad. There's Brago. I like that guy. This has got to be Nightveil Spectre here, though. I mean, I could take Soul as another sort of late game finisher. It's good in the really grindy matchups. It's not good in basically any other matchup. I'll take Spectre. I think Spectre's good in both matchups, basically. Awesome. Sarcomancy, no. Exhume, so interesting. There's Exhume, and we might get that Entomb back. We could have a Reanimator deck on our hands. The problem is we don't really have much to reanimate. Yeah, there's really not much here for us, though. Guess I take Sarcomancy. I'm not planning on starting it, but I'm taking it just on the chance. There's Upheaval. We're certainly not a pure Upheaval deck, but you can make it work. Otherwise, I take Verdant Catacombs here so that we can search up our Underground Sea, which is probably the pick. We're just not really an Upheaval deck. We have no mana ramp whatsoever. Yeah, let's just make our mana a little bit better. I'll take Overgrown Tomb. Maybe we get something we want to splash with it, like that Garrick's Apex Predator. I think that was in this pack. Obviously not counting on it. All right, nothing here. I guess this is the most annoying card, so I'll cut it. And I think we've kind of got our deck here. I would hope to be able to pick up something else in this late part of the pack, but I don't think it's going to happen. Sure. Oh, Pulse. I'll take a Pulse just in case we want to splash it for some permanent that's really, really problematic for us. Yeah, and now we've got the full splash here with Breeding Pool too. So we can splash Pulse pretty easily. We've effectively got 3 sources for it, and that can actually be really handy in a deck like this. Blue-black does not deal with artifacts or enchantments. It just can't touch them. So if there's a particularly problematic one of those, then we can have the Maelstrom Pulse just sitting there. We've got Overgrown. I might just run it in the main even. Don't think we want that troll. It really can help shore up a lot of stuff. And then remember, it just kills creatures or whatever too. Sometimes you're just like, yeah, kill your thing. That's actually decent. Yeah, with Verdant Catacombs, Breeding Pool, Overgrown Tomb, we can actually make that green mana fairly consistently. I actually like that pickup a lot. Just having the ability to kill some things that you don't normally can be really good. I think I'm going to kill the Servitude. Like we're really just not getting back powerful enough stuff. Because remember, Servitude's only our library or graveyard. I mean, it's powerful, but I mean, getting back something weak isn't good enough. So, oops. There we go. Let's see what we're looking at here. Yeah, this looks like a pretty standard issue control shell. Deck looks all right. I think we'll fare well against the creature decks. If we go against some ramp deck, then we're going to be leaning on this Forbidden Dissolve pretty hard and Cryptic, but I think that's okay. All right, Magic Online, what do you say? So our green is free, so we don't have to worry about that. So let's just look at our blue and our black mana. So we've got black. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We don't need this. 9. And then for blue, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Good. That seems really good to me. Doop. All right. Blue-black. Yeah, I call it a control deck.
Do you love to play Magic Online but have a tight budget? Check out MTGO Academy's Academy Budget Bot in the Magic Online Classifieds. All cards in stock are cheaper than one event ticket.
All right, round number 1. Looks like we've got a keeper here. Got stuff to do. If we draw a second blue, we'll be in even better shape, but we can cast everything else. Planes for our opponent. Show them an overgrown tomb, which maybe will throw them off the scent a little bit from what we're actually up to. And probably just going to slam Arena. Let's see what our opponent does. Oh, he's got an end step play. Make some soldiers. All right, well, that means Nightveil Spectre is going to be the name of the game here. Could also just be Maelstrom Pulse if for some reason he makes more soldiers, but probably just going to play the Spectre. This seems good. Forces him to have a removal spell, which he does. Slightly annoying, but it also means we're not taking like massive damage hits this turn anyway. It also means I get a target for my Maelstrom Pulse, as we described earlier. Just in case he has Mana Tithe, we'll run out the Verdant Catacombs first. All right. This gives us our second blue mana source as well. So this is actually just a big turn. Sorin. Sorin's actually not that concerning, I don't think. I wouldn't say Sorin's a good thing, but we can manage Sorin, I believe. Could be famous last words here, but I think we can. Ashiok. Nice finisher. Doesn't do a ton here, unfortunately. All right, let's attack Sorin. I'm just going to pass here. I think if we can maintain this status quo, we'll be okay. Weird. Opponent just miracled Terminus and is playing it. I mean, that resets the board state, but gets rid of our only way to really pressure Sorin. It's an interesting play. I think that on board you'd rather not play it if I'm him, but given our hand, it actually makes good sense, which is a little awkward. But I think I'm going to let him do it because I don't think we're that much further ahead, and this buys us a ton of time. I mean, he gets to make a 1/1 here, and maybe not even play anything for the turn. We gotta be able to deal with that. All right, what do we want? Strix. Probably just need the Deluge. That gets us out of the most trouble. Price. All right, well, let's try to get some value out of Ashiok. If we can't find our own way to pressure Sorin, then we'll have to use theirs. Of course, we find Mana Tithe Plains Swamp, so that's not going to get it done. Perfect. You do that. Oh, we got away with one there, I think. Vapors doesn't look great, but let's see what we hit here. Really? Nothing again? Wow. So far, this person has shown us 0 creatures. Kind of interesting. Go ahead. Rather just leave out my counter spells. 5 cards in hand. Eventually, we'll find a spot to Toxic Deluge away the tokens. And have a counter spell up, but for now, we don't. Yeah, this is just getting weird. Psychotog. Alright, well. I think we're on the decking plan here. And apparently we've run into the creature. Yeah, Gideon Elspeth. It's just no creatures whatsoever. Whatever. Yeah, I think we're okay here. Our opponent could -2 Sorin here and try to kill Ashiok, but then we've got ultimate price to take out a vampire and throw that plan off. And this way we still get to leave up our counters. Yeah, he's going for it. That's actually good for us. The ultimate on Sorin's probably more annoying than anything. So let's keep Ashiok alive so that our decking dream can stay intact here. As I do feel like that's where we're at here. Sure. Counter whatever this is. So what is it, Karn? Eternal Dragon. Probably just going to Toxic Deluge this turn anyway, so I'm going to let that resolve and just do it for 5. not buy a land drop here, though. Pretty annoying. And apparently, I think we're actually against the creatureless deck. There's another Planeswalker. Yeah, it's pretty annoying. Just, we needed to draw a land out of like the last 5 to be able to play 2 spells in a turn. And now we're going to get bonked here. Yeah, it's pretty annoying, no doubt about it. All right, we got there. Convinced that we're not going to hit anything with Ashiok. Oh, I'm wrong. Murderous Redcap, not bad either. All right, so let's play Psychotog here to block the vampire. Dismember? That doesn't seem like a good one. I can get above that, no problem, right? See, I've got how many cards? I got 8. Yeah, no problem. We'll just soft counter that one. So that worked out. Question is, does he finally attack me with this? I think he should. Yeah, he does. All right, so that's pretty awkward. Because what I'm trying to do is get Consuming Vapors into this vampire, into the Eternal Dragon, but he's going to make that difficult on us. And put us to 5 here. But the Vapors will gain us at least a life here off the vampire, so that's not too bad. He's down to 8 cards. It's going to be a close one. The Consecrated Sphinx, of course, can do a great job of protecting us from this, but if it dies, then we die, so we've got to be very careful. Oh, Cryptic. Cryptic Command. Not bad at all. And I think we probably just want to make a Murderous Redcap here. Let's see. I think what I do is I attack Sorin. If he blocks, then we're in total business. Because what happens is he blocks. We throw something away. And then we make a Murderous Redcap to kill a vampire. And then we just play Consuming Vapors, which kills this. So let's do that. If he doesn't block, then it's much different, but getting rid of Sorin also is quite nice, and we've got Cryptic Command that we can lean back on. All right, perfect, he blocked. So we make this thing into a 2/3, eat that. Nom nom. 1, 2, 3, 4. On the battlefield. Kill a vampire. Bye-bye. Apologies. If he has like a flash creature, instant speed, something that we can get boned, but I view that as fairly unlikely. And we're back up to 10. With Ashiok still in play. Elspeth Terrell. Okay, make a bunch of dudes. One of them's going to get sacked. Get rid of a soldier token here. Plus Ashiok. Plus Ashiok there. Down to 4 cards for you, and I think we're in good shape now. So it looks like we're dealing with a 2-creature deck. Downfall, a Johnny, 2 different Sorens, a Liliana, Mana Tithe, is it Gideon, Elspeth? My god. It's just the Planeswalker Central here. Yeah, I think we're pretty safe. So I think I'm just going to play the top here and just pass the turn back. Basically, we just need to survive for this turn. We've got Cryptic Command to help us do that, plus just the board state. I think we're fine on too. This is upkeep ability. Sure. I don't think that's going to get it done, though. Oh, you're already at Ultimate, Soren? I didn't notice that. So can I die in 3 turns? Because one thing I can do here is... I can bounce Ashiok. Like I can tap his team, bounce Ashiok. I think that's the way I win, right? Tap team, so I take no damage, or even just, it doesn't even matter, 2, 4, 6. I'm not taking that much damage anyway. Get Ashiok back in hand. On my turn, play Ashiok. You're at 3. Wipe out your library, and call it good. So let's do that. So I want to return target permanent to its owner's hand, and then I guess I'm just tapping everything. Like, what does drawing an extra card do for me here? I feel like just in case this were to go awry. Okay, and then you get back those 2. You get to hit something. But I take no damage this turn outside of red cap. He gains a bunch of life, and then I think this just works. Put you on 0. All right. Close, though, and this is going to be very awkward. How in the heck are we going to beat the all Planeswalker deck? I mean, our deck is our deck. Not really seeing much we can do. Ultimate Price, Doomblade, Vapors. Allure, Bouncer. These all take a fairly big hit and are kind of not great. Yikes. Our flyers are excellent. All of them. But I just don't see how we're really able to pivot into something more powerful. What if we just cut black? We get red. Doesn't do anything. No. No, that's not going to happen. But like Doomblade Ultimate price or hitting, what, there's 2 creatures we saw? 1 creature? It's just not worth it. So I guess I'll bring in Diabolic Servitude just in case he has a way to kill something of relevance. And I guess I'll bring in Sarcomancy just to pressure him. This is going to be a tough matchup. It's a lot of great stuff from our opponent. All right, I'll keep this. Turn 1 Sarcomancy to start the beats. And then we get to curve into Nightveil Spectre and maybe even Vapors, though Vapors, as we pointed out, not amazing against this particular opponent. Overgrown Tomb, but let's get a little pressure going. Sarcomancy's not a great card in the deck that we're playing, but against what we're playing, like, we can't just let him have free reign on Planeswalkers. We need to be able to pressure those in some way. All right, I think Divining Top's pretty decent here. Okay, Johnny's going to get big, but we do have pressure. So we've got nothing, nothing, and then Moloku. That's fine. So Moloku on top of our library, followed by a land. Brimaz. Well, Consuming Vapors, do your thing. Yeah, this works perfectly for us because we actually get to kill a Johnny. Wow, that's quite fortunate, I will say. Bang. Haha, and we win. Yeah, that's awesome. Super sick. And our curve was actually getting really good too, because we can go Moloku into and then have Maelstrom Pulse for the next Planeswalker too. A Johnny on his own doesn't really do enough. But, you know, if he slammed Elspeth or Sorin or something, we can pulse that. All right. Second round.
Curious about the price of a Magic Online card? Try our searchable price guide on the right sidebar of any MTGOacademy.com page.
Okay, I think this is a keep. It's essentially a 4-island hand with a Nightveil Spectre, but it's got 2 really nice removal spells that work well together if we hit any black mana at some point, so that's not too bad. Against a really aggressive deck, it could put us in a tough spot. But Nightveil is very, very good, especially on turn 3. Yeah, we even get to bounce some waters too. Some waterfronters. Pyromancer. All right. Well, let's just pass a turn then. If he ends up making a bunch of tokens, we're going to want to Toxic Deluge those away anyway. Play Nightveil, probably get it countered. And then and that's okay, and then we'll Toxic Deluge eventually. Bouncer's usually good against token strategies, but if he has the ability to make a whole bunch of them, then it's not good to trade cards from our hand for 1/1 tokens that he's essentially getting for free. So we're not going with that plan. And I don't want to play Waterfront Bouncer if I'm just going to end up Toxic Deluging for 1 anyway. So we'll make him come up with something here. Looks like he wants his own copy of Night Vale. That's actually not bad for us at all. Yeah, I think it's a good time to fire off the Vapors here. He's got to decide one of these things to get rid of, and then he's going to lose the other one as well. So what he needs is a free counterspell here, but there's not many of those in the cube, so I feel pretty comfortable firing this off. Okay. Pass turn. No attackers. What do you... Why aren't you listening to me, Magic? Oh, Teferi. It's pretty good. So Teferi says that I can only cast spells when I could cast a sorcery, and since I couldn't cast a sorcery on my upkeep, I wasn't able to fire the second half of Consuming Vapors off. So that's pretty good. Not bad for him at all. So this makes things pretty awkward for us. I'm considering just Toxic Deluging away the whole board here. It's a 2 for 2. And we get to play Waterfront Bouncer afterwards. It's not the worst case for us. We're not in that much trouble, but we're going to start taking hits from Teferi, and we can't counter anything, so it makes Forbid like a dead card. So yeah, let's attack. If we're going to free roll it anyway. Shouldn't have played a land, though, I guess. I mean, he's going to block. But just in case. In the scenario that I attack, he doesn't block, and I hit a land from him, then I will have given away a free land drop. So that's why I shouldn't have played a land. Much more likely scenario is I attack, he blocks, I Toxic Deluge, and it doesn't end up mattering. Do wish I could leave up this Forbid, but I'll have to live with it. You know, also I could just wait a turn now that I look at it. Yeah, I suppose it doesn't matter if I wait a turn because I can't forbid anything anyway. Okay, board clear. Oh, meant to play Waterfront Bouncer. That's pretty bad. All right. Well, looks like we didn't get super punished for it, but I can't consider that a good thing. Oh, Moloku. Sure. I'll windmill a Moloku here. Seems pretty good. Dueling Molokus it is. Yeah, that could really end up costing us that I forgot to play Bouncer, because it actually just kills Moloku. Oh well. Onward into the battle. If he's got a burn spell, he's going to want to use it on the Bouncer anyway. What in the world is the point of that? Now burn this. Okay, make a dude. Sure. Well, that's about game. Don't think I can beat that. Starts with this resolving. And that's not going to happen. Yeah, that should be game. Bonfire pretty good against our board there. Yeah, I don't usually play around Bonfire at all anyway, but I couldn't have there, so it goes. I don't think we want to change anything. Except for our play, which we can't. All right. Yes, we would love to play first. Thank you for asking, Magic Online. This looks good. This looks actually quite good. Going to try to take over with our Phyrexian Arena. But now that we drew Forbid, I'll just sit. That's fine. Yeah, drawing Forbid there changes our play a lot. I mean, if we didn't, I just would have ran out the arena. But now we can just sit back. We've got a little bit of pressure going. A very little bit, but still, we've got a little bit of pressure. Our opponent kind of has to do something. And if they don't, then we get to sort of get them. right, so brainstorm, crack, fetch. That's a good draw. I think he wants these lands. Yeah, it looks like it. All right, so this means that I can just say go again. I can forbid anything offensive, and then I can Vendilion click. End step. If not, to see what our opponent's working with here. Pyromancer, does that count as offensive? Not really. This is a scary one. All right, what are you working with? A lot. So FTK. So what's the worst thing here for us? Splinter Twin Zealous Conscripts, maybe. Could just be Glenelendra Archmage for annoyance factor. Yeah. It's got a really nice hand. What are you discarding here? Probably miscalc? I don't know. I guess you can just cycle it to draw a card. Which might be better than discarding it. But now that I know about it, it's like it gets a lot worse for our opponent. Wormcoil. Just a big clunker. And we drew Cryptic. see if I counter this. Then I'm opened up to Flame Tongue Kavu 1, 2, 3, 4, which he's going to be able to play anyway. I think I do counter this. Actually, no, I kind of want him to Flame Tongue Kavu. I can just steal it. Yeah, I think I just let this happen. That's fine. Okay, so there's the Kavu. So here's a chance that I have. If I want, I can get that thing out of his hand, but I have to discard these two to do it. Or I can just counter it and let it get countered and just sort of say, okay, well, let's just continue on. If that's the case, how bad is it for us? He's going to kill our Vendilion Click, which is our... He's killing our Vendilion Click either way. So I think I just let this happen. And just deluge the board. Or steal it, depending on what we draw. So he's got Miscalc, Twin, Conscripts, 2 unknowns. Pulse is interesting. I think I'm just going to take the Pyromancer here. It's going to be a close one. He's got options. Like he can go Splinter Twin on Flame Tongue Kavu, kill this thing, get this thing back. But if he does that, then we get to either deluge away the board or just pulse the Kavu. Looks like he does none of it. So now we get to untap with Forbid and infinite stuff. That seems pretty good for us. Attack for 3. I wonder if I even just attack with the Pyromancer. No, I don't think I do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Needed 1 island there to be able to cast both of these. Didn't get it. trying to decide if I want to play this swamp. I need stuff to ditch to forbid if that's the direction I decide to go. Yeah, probably don't need it. So if I pay for the miscalc, then it lets me keep my forbid, but I don't get to actually counter anything now. I think that's acceptable here. It lets me keep the pyromancer, makes him do something. I'll just pay. Plus I want to get my forbid back in hand for future turns. Yeah, I think this is better. I mean, I'm going to lose my guy, but he can Zealous Conscripts here. Shouldn't be enough to kill us, though, right? Oh, he steals my land. I forgot. He got us. So brutal. I forgot. I couldn't. I obviously now shouldn't have paid for that. Oh, that was dumb. Yep. Paying the full price here. I mean, I knew he had it. I knew he had it in his hand. I just didn't remember that he could take a land. Ugh. That sucks. Yeah. Just brutalized. I guess this is the beauty of Cube. Is that you can never quite know all of it. I mean, I consider myself very attuned to what the Cube is capable of, and I just missed this one that let him have it. So I guess I don't know all of it yet. All right. Well, we earned that loss, I will say, and that happens sometimes. I mean, thankfully, it happens relatively rarely. You guys get to watch me. I mean, I'll make my fair share of mistakes, but not usually like that. I just forgot. I just forgot he could steal a land. So there we go. Hopefully better luck next week and better play. If you guys want to find me on Twitter, Marshall_LR is the name. And if you want to find anything related to the podcast, it's lrcast.com. Thanks, guys. Next week.